Kill James Bond fans, your podcast needs you. We have been nominated for an award for the ITV bCreator Awards Podcast Creator of the Year. I know. And we need you to help us win this. It's a public vote. You don't even have to live in the UK. You can go to bcreator.co.uk/awards, which will of course be in the description, and vote for us. Do you like the podcast Kill James Bond? Do you think it would be funny for us to say award-winning podcast Kill James Bond every time we say the name of the show from here on out? Hello and welcome to award-winning podcast Kill James Bond. Do you think that it would be exciting for us all to walk directly into a room full of industry professionals, go straight onto the stage, cunt it up to the nines, get handed an award and tell them all to fuck off and free Palestine? I certainly do, and you have the opportunity in your hands to make it happen. bcreator.co.uk/awards. It will take less than a minute. I leave this in your capable hands.
We are about to do a job in Italy.
Welcome to another episode of Kill James Bond. I am November Kelly. I am joined, as always, by my friends Abigail Thorne and Devon.
Ciao.
Hello.
And we have a guest. We brought on my Trash Future co-host, host of Masters of Our Domain, Britanology, stand-up comedian Milo Edwards. Milo, how's it going?
Hello. Good to be here. I forgot how over the top the theme music is. I enjoyed that.
It's so good, right? I like a bit of like bombast to start a recording. Yeah. Yeah, we got you on because Britanology sort of demands that we do this movie, right? Which is the Italian Job, the original one.
I was almost surprised you hadn't done it already.
I know. I mean, here's the thing. We have a long list and we've kind of been storing up some of the really key ones. And getting back into like heist season with a bang, doing some, because we did the bank job and it got me thinking about like about Britain and about, you know, our specific subgenre of heist. And I thought, yeah, we could do some blagging, you know, we could do that. And this is a
couple of blags.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Come on, England, steal some fucking gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot how much like this movie is saying something about Britain. And like I forgot how much of like a national pride movie it is. Yeah. And I feel like this explains much of like Top Gear.
I think so too. I would say this movie, along with being complimented on your accent by an American, is one of the two main tricks that you can experience that make you convinced for a second that being British is an okay thing to be, that it's like acceptable. Because I really like this movie, right? I had a good time with it.
This didn't work on me. This did not work on me at all. This was insufferable.
You were just sitting there the whole time like deaf to the lesser Satan?
A little bit. I mean, like this is very much a movie made by Britain when it believed that Britain was the most important thing in the entire world. Like there are parts in this where they don't even translate what the Italians are saying, as if it's like, who gives a fuck? It's Britain, baby.
As one of the characters actually says, bloody foreigners, when like what an Italian guy
he's in Italy at the time.
Yeah.
Look, now you listen, this movie may be wrong about Britain, but it's right about Italians. You shouldn't listen to them.
That is true.
But so we begin with this really, really gorgeous opening, which is a guy driving like a Lamborghini Miura down these really like twisty Italian alpine roads.
It's a very pretty car.
You'll never drive the Lamborghini Miura across the Alps.
We're in 1969.
We are.
Half of the CO2 in the atmosphere hasn't been emitted yet. Like a 1.5 degree warming world is still possible. Like at the time this movie was made, it's gorgeous.
They didn't know.
They did actually. They did. And
actually, quite a lot of people knew.
And the people who did know should be. Well, what happens to this guy?
Well, so first of all, I had to talk about the soundtrack as well, because we've also got Matt Monro, the guy who did From Russia with Love, singing over the credits.
We do indeed. He's nailing it with this one, though.
Yeah, he is. The credits, by the way, Michael Caine's suits get like their own credit, and I kind of scoffed at that in a moment. And then I saw the suits, and so later on, I'm like, they deserved that credit.
They did.
But so the guy driving the beautiful Lamborghini drives into a tunnel where he collides with a pre-positioned bulldozer and explodes instantly. making him a 009.
A bloke's trying to drive his Lamborghini Miura, and then he is brutally stopped by roadworks. That is Sadiq Khan's London.
What?
This is Sadiq Khan's Italy.
Why was they giving me bricked off? Thing that only a bulldozer. Yeah. So because we see the like the Italian mafia at the other end of this tunnel as he drives in, block off the end with this bulldozer, and one of them's holding a wreath already of flowers, which is very stylish.
The mafia are so cunty in this movie.
Yeah, for real though, right?
This movie makes the mafia look really good, apart from the fact that they lose at the end. But part of me is just like, oh, I want to work with these guys.
It's kind of a recruitment ad for the mafia. Yeah,
they're all. You said this in the pre-show, but they look like anime villains. They're all standing there in their like tailored suits and their hats. They all simultaneously remove their hats as like a mark of respect against this guy they've just murdered, and they use the bulldozer to tip his Lambo off the edge of a mountain and just bounce it all the way down. It's great.
They're kind of all stood around like the surrounds. Like they're not on the road. They're just above the bridge and they're like along the verge, just all equidistant, wearing a full suit with hat.
Matching fits. Yeah. Fantastic.
I love how well brought up they are, you know. They're like, well, you murdered a guy, but you have to bring it to the wreath, you take off the hat. It's a serious moment.
It's hard.
So, and they full force do just fling a car down an Alp in order
this
to
movie
film
loves
this.
doing this. They do this so many times.
Yeah, we can establish this. One of the chief joys.
It was before recycling bins, you know. That's what you did. You just threw stuff down the mountain.
Into a river. You used to be able to just do this. I mean, maybe that's how we got the other like 3 degrees of warming or whatever, but you used to be able to
fucking hope not.
Throw a sports car into a river and just dust your hands and be like, the movies.
Yeah, we're finished with this sports car. We don't want to bring it home. In the river, no worries.
And just carries it away.
They do this to most of the cars in the movie.
That's the fish's Miura now.
There's like a million stories about the production of this movie. There's just one that I'm going to tell, which is the minis from this. They were given 25 minis and they destroyed 16 of them filming this.
That's
so
really funny.
All of those went to the river, I assume. There's a dam somewhere in like Switzerland or the Swiss-Italian border that's made of compacted 60s cars because of this movie.
There's some extremely cunty beavers driving around in them now. But back in England, back in Blighty, we meet the hero of the movie, Michael Caine.
Charlie Croker, who is getting out of prison. Getting out of 60s
Croker.
prison.
Muppet Joker. That's just for the people who were at DashCon 2. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It's prison in the 1960s where you can still get the nonces.
Yeah, he's in 60s prison where you can still smoke, you can still get at the nonces. They've got the netting strung over all the landings because it's a Victorian prison, and he's being released, and so he's just saying cheerio to everyone on the way out, which was another thing you could do.
It seems like a very affable prison. It really does.
Yeah. Well, we'll see why, because on the way out, he says cheerio as well to Mr. Bridger, Noel Coward. What are you doing in this movie? I love
chewing
him.
the fucking scenery.
Yeah.
He's good in this.
It is.
And Mr. Bridger, we learn, is obviously a person of some importance in the prison. He also has a gay little consigliere with him who's just like advising him off screen in the gayest voice I've heard in a minute. Yeah. I really like this.
That was something that surprised me a little bit about going back to this movie, is that everyone's gay in it.
Yeah.
Like, half of all Brits are gay.
There's a lot of gay people in this, and this is just kind of like fine as well. It doesn't really,
It doesn't affect much at all, but like they're all...
It's good representation.
Got the accent and everything.
Yeah. It's woke, I guess.
It's just before like they had the common parlance for gay, so you could be like this and everyone would be like, that's a bit of an odd bloke, isn't it? Bet he loves pussy, and then just move on.
I mean, was homosexuality still criminalized at the time?
69, no, it wasn't. But
right, okay.
It's still like
within close living memory, I would say.
I forget who the Lord was who presided over one of
Lord
the cases that led to. Oh, are you thinking of that quote where he's like, "Now that we've made homosexuality decriminalized, I trust that like homosexuals will be like quiet about it and grateful." It's like, go fuck yourself.
Now listen, lads, the advanced team are going to go into the bank first. They're going to be in disguise. When you enter the bank, you're going to identify them by the hankies in their back pocket. Then you're all going to meet up in the toilets.
Yeah, it's like, because it was decriminalized in like, I want to say 62, 65, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
so like
around then.
Dead recent, yeah. But so Mr. Bridger, very important, very scary. and also very gay.
67.
Wow. Okay. So,
and I would say partially decriminalized because this is the one that started the minimum age of 21 and over.
Right.
So you're in your second year of being legal to be gay. But so Charlie gets out of prison and he has a girl waiting for him, Lorna, in a very posh car. It's like a Bentley or something. And
she's a 10 out of 10 blonde smoke show.
She
Rare
is.
to see a Lorna these days.
It is, yeah. And as he gets in the car, we see immediately that she has stolen this car from the Pakistani embassy, as exemplified by one of the weirdest visuals I've encountered in a minute, a young Michael Caine holding up a little Pakistan flag.
This will be the episode art, yeah. Holding up the little Pakistani flag.
I didn't get a drop for it, but there is a kind of surreal young Michael Caine. This car belongs to the embassy of Pakistan.
Now listen here, darling. I support Muslim control of Kashmir as much as the next man, but why?
Michael Caine, not a fan of the Modi government, and like for that, he's a king.
Based.
Also, Lorna's fit here: white suit, white driving gloves. Hello.
Immaculate.
Yeah.
It's a lot of driving gloves in this movie.
But so the first call that he makes out of prison is to his tailor, which incredibly cool.
Yes, menswear guy. Let's go.
He literally is. We get a really interesting shot of him
Another homosexual
in the tailor, like in like 5 different mirrors across the shot. And it's like some of the shots in this movie are not great. Some of them actually are, but all the time it's trying something, which I really appreciate.
I like that his tailor tells him like your fits are washed, you're not cool anymore, skinny jeans aren't in. It's all about streetwear and baggy things and crop tops now, and he's just like, this is bullshit. Like I want a James Bond suit, and they're like, no, you suck. You got to dress like a faggot now. That's what's in.
Yeah, he's like, these were all in before I like went away, and the guy goes, "What did you do, life?"
My tailor, the meanest twink.
Gay in the UK.
Yeah. It's like genuinely, this man knows so many gay men, and on his way out, his final line to this tailor is "Shorten the sleeves, would you love?" Right, and this is like 60s homophobia and the kind of thing of being like, well, gay men are kind of women, right? But it's in an affectionate way, and I mean genuinely affectionate, where I'm like, I can't get mad at it for that, you know? It's like, especially for the time, it's weirdly progressive.
Yeah, there's part of me that wants to believe that they've folded it in almost on purpose, because they're making a movie that's like, Britain is the greatest in the entire world, and like they've just decriminalized homosexuality, so maybe part of that is like, look how nice we treat our gays over here in the heart of empire.
Homo nationalism?
Imagine when progressive nationalism was a thing, But so we see him pick up his car, and this is an Aston Martin.
DB4?
Yeah, and he is using a fake title. He's stealing Captain Valor, which is understandable because it's the coolest rank.
Absolutely.
And this is consciously like a con artist Bond, right? Because he's putting on a very posh accent. He is like talking to the guy who's kept his car while he's in prison. He lies about having been in India shooting tigers, right? And retrieves this package of like 20-pound notes from inside the bonnet and pays this guy off. And it's really fun because they're both doing this kind of posh affect, and then as it becomes clearer that he is bribing him, it kind of falls away from both of them. And in the end, he hands him an envelope with about £4,000 in it in 1969 money, which Jesus fucking Christ.
With that.
Yeah, exactly.
When he drives to the hotel, there's a nice detail, no lines or anything, but the cops outside the hotel have made the Pakistani ambassador's car, and there's just like 2 cops standing around it taking notes, and he just notices this and then goes, whoop, and walks away, which I really like. He also tells the receptionist that his name is Lord Croker.
Yeah, it's really good con artist stuff, right? Also, it's really funny that the like luxury hotel looks like absolute shit. Like this too is British patriotism. There's a shot later of him in one of the corridors looking up at the ceiling where you're like, that is 90% asbestos, and it's like in this horrible sort of sculpted shape. It's this weird concrete brutalist box thing.
I only stay in places that are fire safe.
My next note here says this is what happens when November gets home.
Yeah. So he gets in the hotel room to find 8 women making woman noises at him and greeting him individually, and Lorna, who says...
in their underwear.
Yeah, that's also true. Lorna, who says...
Well, I thought, a coming out present.
And I don't know, maybe transition pathways were different back then. I wish my coming out present had been 8 women, but it's fine. You accumulate over time.
In some ways, it was. Just spread out over a long time.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
This is, you know, like they talk about the stylistics of movies from different eras, and, you know, in the 70s, it's the kind of the long rambling plots or whatever, and in the 60s, it's bawdiness.
Yeah.
It's like within the first 10 minutes of the movie, you have to have a bunch of women in their underwear going, go on then, darling, do you want to have it off with us? Like, that's, you know...
It is a bawdy movie. There is a lot of bawd here. And so the joke here is he comes out of the room and he looks fully like exsanguinated. He's dehydrated.
Yeah,
he's fucking
dazed and confused.
Excomguinated?
Excomguinated?
He's missing half his humours. It's over for this guy.
Drastically out of balance. Guy with a big hook nose plague mask comes in to sort him out.
Need to inject more calm into this man.
This man needs a comectomy ASAP.
I think this is how internal medicine works. But yeah, so the camera's fucking spinning around him. But he gets a note saying, go to this other hotel room for more bawdiness. Which he does. He stumbles his way there, is immediately held at gunpoint by another beautiful woman. What were they doing in the 60s that this was common, you know?
You got 1960s woman dysphoria again. This is a 1960s Italian woman too, so you've been especially badly struck.
I literally noted down later on that I have 1960s Italian woman dysphoria. My note for this woman, Mrs. Beckerman, the widow of 009, the guy whose car got like thrown off the cliff. My note says they don't give women plastic surgery like this anymore. And they really don't. She has a particular...
I don't have an eye for 60s plastic surgery. I didn't realize that she had.
Yeah, she's got the like kind of rhinoplasty nose, but in a 60s way. You know, there is a difference. There's a generational difference.
That would be cool if there were plastic surgeons who specialized in period looks.
God, I wish.
Wouldn't
and
that
as
be
an
cool?
Italian married to a German in the 1960s, I think we can safely say nothing to inquire about there.
I wouldn't worry about it.
No, absolutely not. Mrs. Beckerman, hello.
Yeah, she's like, my husband is dead. First of all, and she's like, my husband is dead, and I just want to fuck. I'm a horny widow in your area.
Yeah, I only want.
Yeah, she's like a fucking pop-up ad. Yeah, personified.
And it's really funny that the movie kind of misses an opportunity for a joke because it's too horny here, because it's like, this will be Charlie Croker's, 10th sexual encounter of that day? And he's just like, yeah, sure.
Again, he's November moding.
Well, thank you, but give me some exhaustion out of this, please.
Yeah, my man is busting pure chalk at this point. Like, what?
Well, he's also been in prison for a while.
Yeah. God, yeah,
he's been saving it up in prison.
You don't know. Maybe Charlie Crocus doesn't have sex in a way that always leads to orgasm. You know, there's lots of ways to have sex.
That's true.
Like Indiana Jones blowing on an artifact.
Yeah.
Awful.
Throw me the whip.
So after having done this, she's like, here's my ex, now I guess you don't get more ex than dead. My ex-husband's crime notes.
My late husband's crime notes.
Thank you, yes. My late husband's crime notes about all the crimes he wanted to do. He wanted you to carry on his legacy of doing crimes by doing this one crime. Here's a can of film.
He had a really good crime in the mind.
It's like the agreement that we have that if any one of us dies, we have to go into the drafts and post the bangers that we've got saved. Very, very similar vibe, where he's thought of it, he hasn't done it yet, but he knows it's going to pop off, so you have to do this.
They can't get you for posting about supporting a prescribed organization if you're dead.
That is true. What are they going to do? Arrest you?
True.
Dig you up and arrest you? I mean, possibly at this point. But so Charlie inexplicably joyrides a milk float to next location.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that's about. You have an Aston Martin. Why are you riding around in a milk float? Do you just love milk?
Yeah, but he pushes it off a cliff at the end of the scene.
Didn't even know there were any cliffs in the North London area.
Nothing sadder than seeing a milk float go over a cliff.
That one Alp in North London.
Made don't even try to like marry it up. It's just like clearly a shot of it going over the Alps.
What this movie really needed was a shot of Michael Caine following the Italian woman into the bedroom and then smash cut to a video of a milk float going over a cliff in like one of the most on the nose metaphors.
Yeah. So he watches this like briefing like videotape, which a thing I really like is
it's a vlog.
Yeah,
this Mr. whatever the fuck his name is, Mr. Biederman, Mr. Beckerman, Dr. Whatever. He's 009's made a vlog where he's like, "What up, YouTube? It's your boy 009. Here's my plan to do crimes. I've basically done all the crime already. All you need to do is follow the recipe, add one beaten egg, and you're done."
Yeah, I've got a plug and play crime for you.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of gold being moved around a very busy street in Italy.
Very, very fun combination of 009 and M here that I haven't really seen before. But yeah, he's filming this, by the way, standing in the middle of a hedge, which is weird. But Charlie is watching this and talking back to the screen as if they're having a conversation. And I like this, both as like comic relief, as like character for Charlie, and also because it means the scene isn't just one flat monologue where this guy tells you what's going to happen.
So the plan is there's $4 million in gold that are going to be flown into Turin from China and transported through the center of Turin on the day that the World Cup final between England and Italy is being played. If you can hack the computer that controls the traffic lights in Turin, you can create a massive traffic jam everywhere except where you need it, smash and grab raid on the gold convoy, drive right out of Turin, and escape over the mountains into Switzerland.
And he's done everything. He's like, here's the computer program on a big reel-to-reel tape. Here's the devices for like shutting down the CCTV cameras. I've had them made already. You just need to do it. So he calls up.
Some of the aerial shots of Turin are so funny as well because like they're these massive great squares that are all car parking, and it's so fucking weird to see. There's like 100 cars just in the middle of Turin.
I hope that doesn't do anything to the
clearly be pedestrianized, like
the climate or whatever. It's fine.
No.
All of those cars would eventually be thrown off an Alp. So he calls up Camp Freddy.
Hell yeah.
I love Camp Freddy.
Camp Freddy's not actually that camp, but
no, he's
congrats
not.
to this actor on a restrained performance.
Yeah, so Camp Freddy
nickname. He's the straightest guy in the whole movie.
Camp Freddy works for Mr. Bridger. And it's implied that they organize all of the organized crime because when Charlie tells him, "Oh, I've got a bank robbery. I've got a robbery I want to do," Camp Freddy's like, "Well, if it's the post office on such and such a street, you're going to have to book in for that because it's being done already." So the idea of like Britain working on a kind of appointment-based system for armed robbery really tickled me.
I hate what Britain's become. You have to ring up at 8:30 in the morning to get an armed robbery appointment, and the receptionists are such cunts.
Your call is important to us. Is it though?
They have this conversation, which is strikingly similar to conversations I had with my former agent, where Charlie's just like, "Well, I've got this big job. I've landed it myself. I think it's probably going to make a lot of money. Can I cut you in on this?" And then basically Camp Freddy's like, "We're not interested. Fuck off." It's like, well, I'm trying to make you money.
By the way, the whole time Camp Freddy is on the phone, he has 4 beautiful women, 3 of them standing side by side taking identical notes on pads, and one of them like picking up and hanging up the phone for him, which incredible aesthetic. He also turns down in advance because he thinks it's if it's the Bank of England, it's out. Mr. Bridger's very worried about the economy of the country, right? And so the movie establishes that
he's a patriotic crook.
Is he under the impression that there's money in the Bank of England?
I think he legitimately does, yeah.
Yes, that might be the case.
The impression is that like economy is when the bank of the country has money, and the more money it has, the better economy is, because Charlie goes, no, it's fine. It's a foreign bank robbery that's going to add to this country's balance of payments. And it's like, this is discourse that's downhill of a lot of very weird thinking about economics in the 60s.
Yeah.
But so Camp Freddy's like, no, absolutely not. And then hits me with a line that I may well have said about flat shares in my life.
Now then, Butch Harry, tell us about Fulham.
Now,
Camp Freddy and Butch Harry. Now that is a combo.
If it's an inversion, then maybe Butch Harry is the femme one.
Butch Harry's the gay one.
Or there's just a whole spectrum. You know, you don't see femboy Dave, but he's out there. You know, like
God damn.
Everyone in that room is gay. It's legal.
Faggot Brian.
Yeah, everyone else in that room has a name like that. It's good that we didn't get into it, actually.
But so,
it's like a hangover thing. They're all still in prison for being gay, but from like 2 years ago. They've made being gay legal, but they haven't quashed all the previous convictions.
Oh, if only I'd waited.
But so Charlie's like, all right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unpack my cat burgling tools. Including his grappling hook. You never see a grappling hook in a movie.
You don't know.
Because of woke.
Which he has named Hazel. And I'm just like, this is the gayest straight man I've ever seen.
This man is the Riley Quinn of crime.
Well, it's different kind of arc there, because Riley Quinn is the most transsexual cis man, whereas Charlie Croker is the gayest straight man, if you see the distinction.
Yes.
Okay.
God, Riley would be so nervous committing a heist, pacing around outside.
But the heist would go well,
We wouldn't
I
rope
believe.
him in on the heist.
I think the heist would be well planned.
I think so.
It'd be organised.
But so Mr. Bridger is in prison, and he's in prison wearing a smoking jacket over his uniform, like a kind of purple velvet number.
Like a fucking pimp.
Yeah, he's being escorted by the guards.
We're all on the gay wing.
He literally is. He controls the gay wing because he's being escorted by the guards to his own private bathroom, and it's becoming increasingly clear that he basically runs this prison, right?
Yeah.
The soundtrack to this is British Grenadiers, by the way.
Yes.
Like, just to nail the sort of patriotism thing.
I noted this.
The soundtrack doesn't calm down at any point.
So he's going in to take an extremely dignified shit, right? He's being handed like his special toilet paper
by the guards.
Yeah. And as he opens the door to the toilet stall, fucking young, alarmingly twink-looking Michael Caine just giving him the brattiest possible look, and it's just like, but gay Britain used to be a real thing. We didn't used to be straight in this country. It used to all be gay.
Now listen, son, we're going to do this job, even if I have to cottage you into agreeing. So what's it going to be?
What he does,
Yeah.
Everybody in the world is bent.
You ever been to Berghain, Mr. Bridger?
But he pitches them on this job again, and Bridger doesn't really want to know, and then like has to cover for him as the guards are like, "You're right in there, Mr. Bridger." And then again, a moment strikingly like conversations I've had with my former agent is when Charlie's like, "Well, I could always take this scheme to the Americans. They're people who recognize young talent and give it a chance."
Yeah, this is a little bit of like what you might call declinism, right? I'm borrowing that term from the historian David Edgerton, whom I'm still kind of like half reading at the moment. Declinism, right? This idea that like Britain is a failing state, like a doomed project. It's on the way out, right? Like, and it's always been this kind of strain in the British psyche to be like, "Oh, country's fucked, mate." So it's like going down the tubes. And in this case, it's a talented young entrepreneur who is trying to do a startup, essentially, cannot get funding because like the people with money are too hidebound and like kind of standoffish, right?
It's called Nebula, Mr. Bridger. It's a streaming service, but get this, it's owned by the people what are on it.
If you're not going to do this, I'm going to take this to Masayoshi Son. He'll invest in anything.
Yeah, he's a startup guy. So we now get a scene where Bridger the next day has to go and confront the prison governor, who is like obviously both scared of him, but also just kind of deferential to him instinctively. And it's John Le Mesurier from Dad's Army.
Fuck yeah.
I love that Mr. Bridger has his own desk in the prison governor's office. Just very funny.
And he excoriates the governor for letting someone break into his prison and says, and this is where the declinism creeps in again, "You are symptomatic of the lazy, unimaginative management which is driving this country on the rocks." And 69, you're dealing with like Harold Wilson as prime minister. Like, you're dealing with a like socialist labor government, and
imagine such a thing.
So, yeah, right. And you'd have like years more of it yet. Like, you're about to get James Callaghan after that, and then Wilson again. So the idea of the institutions of this country are kind of bureaucratically a joke, and the only people with any like new real ideas are the gay criminals is bizarre.
It's been a long-standing like view, like declinism. As I'm looking back, it has been such a long-standing view that it seems to be like somewhat immune to the actual material conditions in the country. That a lot of people believe that the nation is in decline. It's kind of like masculinity, like it's always been in crisis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I think Noel Coward here is kind of giving the I can't remember who it was who said this, but someone in the 60s, like a famous British homosexual, said it really sucked when they made being gay legal because it made married men much less willing to fuck you. I think that's kind of like, he's like, they've made being gay legal and now have taken all the fun out of it. This country's gone to the bloody dogs.
Well, we see he's quite conservative in other ways as well, because Keats, his like consigliere slash secretary slash prison wife, we don't get into that, brings him a copy of the like some like economic reports because he's like into economics, and a copy of the Illustrated London News because it's got a picture of the Queen in it. And as Bridger is like telling him, you know, like some of the young lot in E Block aren't standing to attention for the national anthem, so like threaten them until they do. He goes into his cell, which I can only describe as Angloid.
Normal English guy, my notes say. Normal stuff.
He's got the like pink kind of frilly lampshade, so you remember he's gay, and it's also then wallpapered entirely with pictures of the Queen.
Entirely, yeah.
Like floor to ceiling. Troubling.
Yeah.
This
looks like a serial killer.
He belongs in that prison. This is not healthy.
That's all above the Dido rail. It's all above the it's a Dido rail. Interesting. It's all above that.
There will be one long rail on my wall. One of those. Yeah.
Either way, he's got a very gay room. He really does.
But so he gives one more order, which is like, have Charlie Croker beat him up.
Beat him like a little bit, you know. Don't kill him, but do like fuck him up.
Slap him about a bit.
Yeah, I want him given a good going over. So
just get him rock hard, but no further.
Edge this man. So Camp Freddy and two goons. Not sure of their names. Gonna say one of them is Femboy Dave.
Yeah, definitely.
Go and wait outside Charlie's flat, or squat really, only to discover that Lorna has just walked in on him with 3 more women. We used to be a real country. I don't know why she's mad, because she did get him the 8 other women.
Well, this is what he says. He makes that point.
He's like, you didn't mind at the hotel, and she's like, that was a coming out present.
Inconsistent polyamory. You can't just have it be situational like that. You need clear boundaries.
Well, they didn't have spreadsheets then, you know.
That's true.
It's true.
She's like trying to attack him, and he's fending her off with like a big cuddly toy bear that is making inexplicable noises for the whole scene.
Yeah, she's attacking him with like a blauhai or something. And so they have this like stuffed animal fight, which is quite cute.
It is, but it's also it's a bit Carry On. Like some of the 60s comedy in this is the more dated kind.
It's good staging though, because it's nice. It's a nice way of telling us that like this argument is not really going to come between them if they're like literally play fighting.
Of course, then Camp Freddy and the goons show up to beat him up.
Femboy Dave and Gooner Chaz.
Yeah. And he's like, you wouldn't hit a man with no thigh highs on, would you?
And they're like, God, put your fucking thigh highs on then.
Immediately tries to escape. It ends in a fight in which it's implied that Camp Freddy gets beaten up because he's gay and therefore worse at fighting. I think he looks a little bruised in the next scene.
I didn't notice that. I did notice that Charlie appears not to be worse aware at all. But
no, I think he wins that fight. But so Bridger is out on a confected like dentist's visit, in which a bunch of dentists are like sitting around smoking and gambling while he holds court in the dentist's chair.
Cigars.
Yeah, one of them's running the drill occasionally. It's fun.
It's a dental cigar.
Yeah, change my mind. Get the guy you just beat up back, because we want to do this job.
On that little rotating table attached to like the big dentist arm, there's like just a crystal decanter of brandy on there as well, which I found to be very fun.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that was still the primary anesthetic because they just made cocaine illegal. So
it's topical.
Yeah, they had a 1 in 1 out policy, so homosexuality was decriminalized and then cocaine was made illegal.
So he's seen the news about this Chinese gold going to fiat, and he's like, oh my god, they're actually going to make money on this, so we have to get in on this.
Yeah,
but we need a computer guy. We need to find this someone to run the computers. To which you get a very funny exchange because Camp Freddy's like,
maybe the professor's not bent. Camp Freddy, everybody in the world is bent.
Nor Coward chewing scenery, having a fantastic time.
Yeah, especially on that wing of the prison.
Yeah, so Professor Peach is going to be the computer guy.
Peach, yes.
They go to visit his address where it says, I don't know, like Nan or something.
Sister, I think.
We do some more bawdiness here because it's like we do some old
it's
woman
Benny fucking
comedy.
Hill.
Yeah,
it's Benny fucking Hill.
This is an unusual scene.
Yeah. This is like the British version of a Marvel movie where every time a new character turns up, you're like, it's the guy from The Thing.
Yeah.
You're like, oh fuck,
it's Benny Hill.
British Avengers.
Oh shit,
Benny
it's
Hill,
Captain
famous for the running
Baldy.
fast, the moving around.
Yeah.
Comedy nonce, because it emerges that he has been institutionalized in a home for molesting their maid, who is a larger woman.
Yeah, can you explain to me what the joke is here? Because we hear that he's been institutionalized for doing something obscene with Annette, and then Annette comes in and she's just like, she's a woman.
She's fat, so it would be funny for him to be like a rapist towards her because she's ugly. Like that's the joke. That's 100% the content of the joke. Yeah.
But she's not.
It's not good.
She's not.
No, I know it's not good. But like you got to remember they had never seen an ass before in the 60s.
True. Right. But also she's not that fat. She's
doesn't matter.
She's like 60s fat, which is to say she was like emaciated 20 years ago because all she had to eat was rations. It's like
the textual joke here, I think, is like fat woman chaser. Something which is then confirmed as they go and meet Professor Peach.
Comes up later.
Who fully hits the...
He's the best computer guy we've got. He's also a sexual deviant.
Because in this home, he's like... He's doing Benny Hill bits, brackets, sexual pervert, because he's like, if you installed like a mirror on the flagpole at such and such an angle, you could see into Matron's bedroom, who is also a fat woman. And the way that they like essentially break him out on the promise of more fat women.
Well, they have two outside.
Yeah, they do. Like in Charlie's car, and the look of the picture of lust on his face is just it's very funny. It's like this is weird, right?
It is strange that they locked him up for liking fat women. I suppose they locked him up for
again,
assaulting.
it's the one in, one out.
Yeah.
You know, like they've decriminalized homosexuality.
They criminalized liking fat women.
Right.
Yeah.
Just on the liking fat women wing of prison.
Chaps, we can't have everything going crazy here. We've got to maintain some decorum.
We're going to try this for a bit.
Yeah, it was weird. It was inserted at the Lords. They were like, well, we just got to balance it out. You know?
I'm so glad they decriminalized that, but
yeah.
If you like the fatties, you're going to have to go for blokes. Sorry. That's the way it is.
Weirdly late they decriminalized as well. It's like in the 2010s.
Yeah.
Actually, in some parts of Kent, the council just continued making it illegal.
The Liberals exchanged it for benefit cuts.
So we get a briefing scene, which is where I get that we are going to do a job in Italy. Bit from, but there's also a bit where Michael Caine kind of one shots me because he's like, I'm going to introduce you all to each other, but I'm going to do it like it's a BBC panel show in 2005.
First, Bill Bailey.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah. The fact that he had that little keyboard felt ridiculous.
He introduces the whole team. There's 15 of them, so suck it, Danny Ocean. And like, it's the embodiment of Britain, which is like, here's all the people we have in Britain, right?
Too many.
We got Cockneys, posh boys, one woman, a gay guy, one black guy, and then we're all working for an insanely rich person who has weird opinions about who's allowed to use the toilet. And like that's the diversity of modern Britain.
Yeah, they got Russell Howard, they got Reginald D. Hunter, they got
Noel Fielding,
Clive Anderson,
a woman,
Russell
Sarah
Howard.
Masco,
Sarah Millican is here.
If anyone's got a good Sarah Millican, but yeah. So
I love robbing a big bank in Italy. Because I think afterwards I can have a little cake.
You be fucking careful.
I hope Benny Hill doesn't try and shag us.
You be fucking careful. I'm not going to be taking this kind of anti-Geordie shit on my podcast.
She's been brought on board purely as bait.
I've been doing some anti-Geordie racism because I can't stop thinking about the tweet that I saw the other day that was like, heard a Geordie on the phone saying, I suffer massively from mental health. And
I saw this
suffer
post.
massively from mental health.
Oh, me mental health.
Oh, you would.
It's been in the gut.
Just been in my head. But yeah.
Wait,
so,
is Sarah Millican from Newcastle? Is she from Sunderland?
I don't know.
She's certainly a northeast
We don't
lady.
have time to get into like arcane northeastern beefs because, as we said, we've got the whole team here. We've got the like posh twink mini drivers. We've got Big William.
No, she's from South Shields. She's good.
Okay, we got Big William, who is the one person of color they know and is in this movie.
Yep.
Yep.
And we got like Camp Freddy, and then we got miscellaneous Cockneys.
Mm-hmm.
That's the team.
Yes.
There's some posh boys
100%.
too. There's a few posh boys who are like, ew, I'll be driving one of the minis.
Yeah,
Charles.
those are the mini twinks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so they immediately
Mini
go and
twinks.
fuck
We're
around.
racing drivers. We're all posh.
They immediately go and fuck around on the track and destroy a bunch of cars. This is ideal. This is how they destroyed, half the minis they were given,
This
or
is the
two
Top Gear
thirds.
segment.
Sorry, Charlie. You see, the thing is, we're all
One off,
drunk.
though.
We started at 10 a.m. I've had 14 gin and tonics.
Yeah, and this is the bit where we get the line from the movie that everyone remembers. You're only supposed to blow the bloody back doors off.
Yeah.
And it's
You're only supposed to blow the black walls.
yeah, you're only supposed to blow the back walls in. It's good. It's fine. It's like compellingly shot, right? And it's such a weird line delivery that it like sticks in your head.
Master Wayne, some men just want to blow up the entire car, despite the fact that they were instructed otherwise.
We were talking about this before we came on, that like I don't have a good Michael Caine, whereas you, Milo, have like a drop down of Michael Caine's. You've got like
You've got
subgenres.
several Caines
There's
on
the
deck.
young
Michael
Caine.
Caine in this film is like this. It's very tight. It's up there, and then Michael Caine in Later Life. It's the kind of the husky sort of very slow.
Christ.
Yeah, you must understand, Master Wayne.
A mini the size of a tangerine.
I have it on good authority that Michael Caine is a nice guy in real life because one of my drivers on the thing I'm currently filming used to be Michael Caine's driver and says that he's actually a lovely guy.
I think used to be Michael Caine. Like it's like James Bond, like he gets
Yeah,
traded
he used
off.
to play Michael Caine. No, apparently Michael Caine is lovely. So Michael Caine, come on the pod. Cartoon.
Yeah, I stand Michael Caine. I'll have that.
But yeah, so we get some more of Bridges' like increasingly ludicrous control of the prison because he's being shown like some filming that they've done in advance in Italy that Camp Freddy has done, where Camp Freddy is wandering around Turin, speaking very loudly into a microphone, being like, "Well, I think the bank robbery that we're going to do here is like." Plausible, and the whole time in the back there's the Italian mafia guy who looks a lot like Fabio Capello, just kind of reading a newspaper threateningly or whatever.
So on the pretext of organizing a funeral for their great Aunt Nellie, Bridget gets day release from prison and then basically briefs the whole gang at the funeral. And he tells Charlie, like, the mafia are going to be waiting for you. They will fuck you up. This is now a matter of national pride because even though the mafia traditionally don't enjoy banks and money staying in the banks, they're not going to let some fucking jumped up English startup come and rob their fucking bank on their turf. So don't fuck this up.
It's a question of prestige, and it's not subtle, right? Because it's like,
Yeah, they hit you with Rule Britannia, like.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The England versus Italy football match happening at the same time as the England versus Italy crime match. But so they are briefed. And then they drive onto the grimmest, greyest ferry in the world and go over the channel. And I'm like, this is a horrible country.
Hell yeah.
Awful.
Cool. Well, they got to get the ferry because they need to bring 3 Mini Coopers with them that you've seen in the background of some of the shots. Well, they need to bring a lot of cars. They've got a lot of
3
cars.
Mini Coopers, 2 E-Type Jaguars, which and the Aston
They're all
Martin
going off the cliff.
DB4.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I know. I allowed myself to get attached, but the mafia are
attached.
constantly waiting for them, suited and booted in the Alps.
Yeah, same location.
Yeah.
Or
Heartbreaking.
like placed around like the fucking UN in like the Lupin movies.
Now leave a bit of room on the way back, boys,
Interpol,
because we're
not
going to
UN.
pick up 600 of those little beers in Calais and a couple of bottles of sherry for the ladies.
Heartbreaking scene where
So well, they're onto something.
Fabio Capello, as I am now thinking of him, is like, it's fucked up that you're going to do this crime. We killed 009 for trying to do this crime. Nice cars. We're going to have the guy with the bulldozer like donk the cars over the head essentially and like break the roofs just the roofs, and and then throw them over the cliff.
Yeah. And Michael Caine warned off killing him. He's like, no, don't kill us, because there's 250,000 Italians in Britain. And if you kill us, Mr. Bridger will have every Italian business, every pizzeria, every restaurant, every wine bar in the UK will be smashed.
Ice cream parlor, he says.
Driven into the sea.
Yeah. No more fucking gelato, understand?
It's a very nice Franco Manca that you've got here. It would be a shame, wouldn't it, if anything were to happen to it. Are you familiar with Pizza Express? Well, let me tell you.
Such an odd threat for them to be like, yeah, no, if you kill us, there's going to be a pogrom against the Italians.
I also wrote anti-Italian pogrom. Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, that's the stake you're putting down?
Are they not white yet?
But it works.
Pogromo.
It's also funny, the idea that the mafia,
they're not white in this movie.
The mafia cares about Italians specifically. Like every nation's organized crime is kind of like representing the school almost.
I fucking hope they are. Like, I don't have a massive intersection with British organized crime, but I hope they're like keeping the end up, you know?
Yeah, if you're involved in British organized crime, don't write in.
I feel like British organized crime is like mostly hanging out in Spain, you know, which really lets the side down. Like
British organized crime will defend any Turkish person.
Actually, I do remember a taxi driver in Newcastle once telling me that the Polish mafia had moved into Newcastle in a big way and taken it away from like British organized crime, and I was just like, oh man, that sucks.
It's just brutal, you know. We're not. It's always the thing with this country, right? We're not like inculcating like homegrown talent, right? Enough.
British towns for British mafia. That's what I've always said.
Nobody wants to do crimes anymore. The kids want it all handed to them.
They all want to work. But so Signor Altabene, this mafia guy says, all right, we're not going to kill you, but as we say in Italy, vaffanculo, which means fuck off.
Yeah, go home.
Yeah. They push one car off the cliff.
We see later on in this beautiful like dinner that the mafia are having that the Americans are with them specifically. Like, and the American is kind of an oath, and it falls to Signor Altabene to be like, don't count out the English. They're not as stupid as they look. Right. And this is a recurring power fantasy on our part, right? Is we know we're ridiculous, but we always want the countries that are like slicker than us to kind of acknowledge like, oh, okay, but they do have something going on.
This film made me wonder if Italy were aware of this kind of international rivalry, or whether the Italians' reaction to the Italian job was just like, huh?
What? Yeah, this is the thing. Yeah. Like it's a British fantasy of competition for sure.
Actually, in Italy, in the dub, they changed it to the French job.
The French job was what Michael Caine was getting off those 8 women.
God. So Charlie sabotages a power station by throwing a bicycle into it. Don't worry about it.
Right.
And the boys infiltrate the
play on power lines.
The Turin traffic control center, and we get some comedy sneaking with Benny Hill. And they exchange in the like. It's actually, I think, one of the first computer hacking scenes in a movie. Right. They put this like malicious software, this reel-to-reel tape into the machine.
I love it. It's a really easy hack.
Yeah. So now that they've been threatened, Michael Caine's like, all right, we got to get the women out of this movie.
Yeah, Lorna, it's time for you to leave the film.
Yeah, because you're a liability.
Lorna, you've been fine thus far. On the plane. Back you go.
To be fair, she does immediately prove him right about being a liability, because she like outs him very loudly in the queue for the plane by like shouting his name and saying she loves him. But
good luck with your criminal job, Charlie. I really hope the secret robbery goes well.
I do kind of wonder.
The whole time he's just going.
Yeah. Get on the plane. I do kind of wonder whether he just wanted like boys' weekend in Milan at this point with his gay friends. Like,
finally, a tailor is not going to be rude to me.
So, and we see them unloading the gold. The silliest convoy of like Italian weird vehicles.
Yeah, I love
huge
this.
Fucking shout out to this, because we'd originally seen this convoy on like a black and white briefing film, so you don't realize until you finally see in the movie that they are moving this gold in a big golden van.
Yep,
I love it.
With a bit
cool, man.
With a big silver secret on the side. Ideal, fantastic. So
it's like I would have painted it maybe like differently to the bonus ship in like Space Invaders, you know? Like, what are you doing here?
Loro secreto.
This looks like a prize car.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the thing. I appreciate the nation of Italy deciding to make things kind of very clear semiotically. Like a red sports car says this is the car that's designed to go fast. A big gold van says this van is full of gold.
That's got the gold in it.
The side of an Alp says dispose of your used vehicles here.
So they do the planning scene, which distinguishes itself from like all of the military films that were coming out about the same time about the Second World War, where one of the posh twinks is like, should we synchronize our watches? And Michael Caine's like, nuts to your watches. And so they agree on the plan, which is as they're going to like control the traffic to drive the convoy into this one piazza where they're going to block it off to separate it from the escorts. They're going to like steal the van with the Land Rover, unload the van into the minis, drive the minis away.
Easy peasy.
Easy.
Meanwhile,
However,
Professor Peach assaults a fat woman on a tram.
Correct.
Gets arrested, and as far as I can tell, they leave his ass in Italian prison.
Oh yeah, no, he's done. That's the movie for him.
He does end up in Italian prison.
He did not manage to keep himself from being a fat woman chaser in Italy, and got himself arrested, and they just leave him. Like they just don't even think about him at any point.
Dangerous gamble for any chaser.
It's like shot for shot a version of that scene from fucking Con Air, except it's a fat woman. Like it just, we inflicted this predator on Italy, I guess, and then just left him there.
We're taking you to Orny jail, or as we call it in Italia, a jail.
He's on the fat woman chaser wing of Italian prison.
God, yeah, the smell on that wing. Fuck me.
Jeez.
Back in the 60s, you used to be able to get at the chasers.
Speaking of smells, we also talk to the drunkest, sweatiest man who is covered in like England fan
gear. Who the fuck
gear.
is this bastard?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's someone. He's part of the plan, I guess.
When was he brought in?
I don't know, but he's gonna drop off the like packages containing the fucking
security
like,
camera
devices.
jammers. He's gadget Baz.
Yeah.
Also, he leaves the movie after this.
He does, yeah. And we see Charlie has to like organize all of this, which is he does mostly by the expedient of like shouting at people and pushing them because they're all fucking around. The fit, I want to talk about the fit because they all have to get changed into their heist outfit, which is a really cunty blue tracksuit with like white piping. And I'm like, did you give that job to the like gay tailor as well, or did you like, is that store-bought? Like, did you go to Italy?
It's very Moonraker.
It is actually, like coordinated jumpsuits. It's good.
Yeah. It's also kind of football team to be like, all right, we're going to like, suit up before the big match. The Land Rover even has like a GB sticker on the back just to really rub it in.
It is quite tense, the build up to the heist as they are following the convoy through Italy. Senor Altabene and his boys are also following it too. There's no music over any of this, which is an interesting choice. And it goes on for like a good 15 minutes as they follow the convoy and are like building up.
We get the shots of inside the like traffic control room, the like CCTV cameras shutting down one by one and Italians like shouting at each other more and more. This is where I get the 60s Italian woman dysphoria. A lot of Italian women in suits in these.
Oh yeah. And also the traffic lights are going haywire because Professor Peach's like chaser program is interfering with them.
Chaser.exe is now running on the network. I have to say,
well, it rearranges the traffic light so that any fat woman in a car gets directed towards him.
It's a traffic jam of fat women outside the gates of Italian prison. This is a very predictable sentence for a trans woman to say, but I love old computer. I love reel to reel.
No, yeah, you're 100% right.
Really good sound effects in this as well.
When they do eventually pop smoke and attack the convoy, the cops have a water cannon like it's Takeshi's castle, which is very
because they're driving this like armored personnel carrier behind the thing, and it's only after they light a guy up with it that you realize it's a water cannon. And you go, oh, okay, this is less of a big deal than I imagined.
Yeah, I thought it was bullets too, and then
I thought there'd be bullets coming out of that thing.
I guess having a guy get like bisected by machine gun fire kind of changes the vibe. But yeah, no, it's like as Italy is pushed into chaos, and this movie really does take the case that like traffic lights are the thin veneer of civilization over Italian
the thin
savagery.
red, yellow, and green line.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the most ahistorical thing there is when have Italians ever paid attention to a traffic light?
Yeah.
But the actual robbery, they throw some smoke grenades. They separate the like sicurezza van from the mob and everyone. And it's a very like popular memory of the Great Train robbery kind of robbery, in that it's guys getting bonked over the head.
Yeah, they don't
it's a
shoot
smash
people.
and grab. This isn't like a subtle heist. They just like blow smokes and just start hitting people with 2x4s.
There was kind of a belief in Britain until I think fairly recently that like getting bonked over the back of the head with a big bit of wood was not that bad for you.
It's basically fine.
explains a lot about
like
our
it
country.
turns you off for a bit. And then you're okay.
It's not really like violent or whatever. And I remember reading about the Great Train robbery, and which is still kind of remembered as, we'll do something about it, I'm sure, still remembered as like the perfect crime in Britain, right? And what happened was, a couple of guys got like coshed over the back of the head or whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, one of those guys just never worked again, by the way. And it's like, I'm not sure. Maybe it was odd of us to develop this theory of like, this is a non-violent crime that we're doing. But so,
well, as long as you say Bosch while you do it, it's fine.
Bosh, yeah.
Couldn't do the train robbery in Britain now. Couldn't find a fucking train to rob.
Couple of Italian cops get like bonked over the head. The water cannon guy gets
think about
bonked
the
over
Great
the
Train
head.
robbery in Britain right now. Just wait and you get it all back on delay repay anyway. It's a shit public transit system, but it is free if you just wait.
Now listen, lads, we've bought an open return. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find out which trains for the day have been delayed, and then we're going to claim we were on all of those trains. And we're going to get back more than the face value of the ticket.
Doing the Great Train
It's a
robbery, but it
perfect
stops
crime.
at Birmingham.
Yes. The Great Replacement Bus robbery.
Yes!
Yes, there it is.
So they get the van into like the separate little bit, the like
They drive
covered
it into a church and
thing.
like seal the doors behind them.
Yeah, I like the like skirmish line of guys with 2x4s that Charlie forms to like fend off anyone who tries to interfere.
They do in fact blow the bloody doors off, and then they stick
do?
all the gold in the back of the minis.
Yep, a bunch of silly little Italian police cars rock up.
Oh yeah. Silly Italian police cars.
Nino, etc.
Yeah, this is the bit where we get the like non-subtitled Italian dialogue, and I don't speak Italian. I'm not going to learn Italian, but I can derive what the movie wants me as an English speaker to think about Italians from this, because the cops get there, they waste a bunch of time saluting each other, but then use one of the trucks that the robbers have brought to try and knock the door down in a way that seems like it's going to work, but then tips one of the cars it's carrying onto one of the cop cars. From which you derive Italians are pretentious but clever, but maybe not as clever as they think they are, and always a bit funny. Yeah. Which is something that, like, I don't know, your worst uncle is also likely to think. So you can reason back to that from first principles of like gammon or whatever. So we get a really cool shot from inside the van as the police finally break in. The robbers are like long since gone, and the van is empty.
They drive off in the minis. Some of them get away in a minibus, which is made to look like a bunch of England fans. Which is quite fun.
Yep.
Again, national pride, and we get the big car chase from the Italian Job.
Here we go. It's the car chase from the Italian Job.
The mini bit everyone remembers. I have to say, there's a joke, there's a gag here where the three of the minis drive over like a wet floor in an arcade. One of the cops chasing them on bikes slides off, and you get a shot of the guy who is mopping the floor doing the "well, now I have to mop this floor again" expression. Gets me every time. Got me this time as well.
Yeah, no, that's always good.
There's still no music at this point, but they are charging their attack.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. The minis start driving at this point, and they are driving for the next 20 minutes of the movie.
It's a big old car
and
chase.
It's
just kind of doing bits.
It's also fully a cartoon.
It is, yeah.
Yes.
One of them like swipes a roast
It's
chicken as they
Hanna-Barbera
drive
type
past some
shit,
outdoor diners. They drive past a wedding party. They do jumps and like sick shit between rooftops and so on.
They drive onto the roof of a stadium in a way that traps a cop up there, and there's a long shot of like this one Italian cop and his car stuck on the middle of this roof. That's this perfect expression of human sorrow in the face of ridicule. And
because they use the Fiat test track, don't they?
They do,
which was on
do.
the roof of the Fiat factory in an insane Italian move.
And I'm thinking about like roles you're kind of casting England in against the world, right? And taking the piss, not a bad one, right? Meanwhile, Italy is in chaos. You see there's like a guy standing out of his sunroof smoking with his loafers on the steering wheel. There are choir boys gambling in a van. There's a guy flirting through the window of his car and getting slapped by a woman through the window of her car.
Many fat women outside the prison looking confused.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love Italy. Great country.
Stop flirting with him. I'm on my way to the prison.
Mr. Altabeni is like, we have to stop them now. They're going to get away. And I'm definitely going to be in more of the movie after we cut away from me now.
And it's just, there he goes.
Yeah, the mafia operating as another branch of the Italian government, and they're gonna like investigate the thing, whatever. This is where we get the song.
Yes,
right?
the movie fires its fucking Kamehameha into your dad, and he's never the same.
Oh yeah.
Movies used to be like. Well, there's another thing movies used to be like, which I'm going to explain in a second. But movies used to be like, here's an original song by the cast that is going to get stuck in your head forever. And they don't do that anymore. And I think that's a shame.
Anime theme song openings do that.
Yeah.
Weird handshake meme.
No, there's more anime that's
the
like
same
this
instinct, I think.
than there are movies. There's a lot of like Lupin the Third that's like this.
Yeah, definitely.
But so, they drive across a weir in these minis. A weir is the like sort of like slightly subsurface like water thing. Really easy to drown in. Don't swim in a weir.
Yeah, just drive over it in a Mini to be safe.
Yes, yeah.
It's a bit where the three minis like evade the shitty little Italian police car that's chasing them by driving into like a rack of displays of other minis.
Yeah, that's quite funny.
Yeah,
and the sign behind them says the Mini Cooper reads innocent. It's like, okay, all right.
If you want a car that says acquitted of all charges. They drive across this.
Luc Besson's car.
They drive across this weir, and the cop car doesn't make it. I have to say, Siren Slowly Dying. One of my favorite comedy sounds. Also, all those cops drowned. Should have invested in the Hamburg police aqua car.
Che cazzo, il weirdo.
The minis drive into a tunnel, and here's the thing. I have a huge grin on my face at this point in the movie.
Yeah, it's cool.
Because how do you do this shit, right? They're like...
That is the point, yeah. Like, a bunch of this, for the modern viewer, you could watch this and be like, yeah, that's kind of like normal. Because nowadays you would just make this on the computer or you'd have a drone flying it or whatever. Quite a lot of the points of the driving in this is to get the shot, like, to push the boundaries of the shots that you can get on like a physical like film camera. And how the fuck they filmed all of these guys in that tunnel. I have no idea.
It's really cool.
It's something about like audacity, right? In the sense that movies used to be very casually like, thanks for coming to see our movie on like, like a wet Sunday afternoon or whatever. Here's some shit you've never seen before in your life, right?
Yeah.
And the only films that are still doing that are made by Tom Cruise or the Indian film industry. Outside of that, it's just not happening. And that's a real shame.
I think it's happening in TV, actually. If HBO, that's quality in every frame, baby. Pushing the boundaries all the time.
So anyway,
I watch movies. But like in the Matrix, the fucking 360 camera thing had never been done before. Like, you used to invent new ways of taking photos for movies. Now they invent new ways of faking photos.
They sabotaged the last cop car by like slamming a big grate onto it. The two cops inside turn into obvious mannequins before it rolls into a river.
Yeah.
But they do destroy more cars.
That's
great.
for the
Perfect.
Yeah, well, before the car goes to its final resting place, the river, of course, where all cars must eventually go.
They're like salmon, right? They have to return to it.
To spawn,
From the river. From the river they come, and to the river they shall return. So back in Britain, Mr. Bridger is told in prison that they have pulled off the robbery, and there is a crowd of prisoners cheering for him.
Cheering for England as well.
Yes, they're doing the like England claps. Yeah, but
they're doing the full like
Geordies!
Mr. Bridger! Like crimes! It's good.
We're gay. Yeah, that one.
we see that he waves to them like the Queen does. Which is funny. It's cute. Beautiful. He's getting salutes off the guards. it's like, on the one hand, it's a mean, like, surface level Queen joke, but on the other, it's like, no, this is fully saying that, like, Britain is gay prison territory.
Oh, incidentally, England also won the World Cup.
Oh yeah, perfect. Sure.
Yeah, just at the same time.
Prison didn't turn me gay. I turned prison gay.
Oh yeah. So they drive the minis up into the back of a bus with a little bit of difficulty.
How did they do this? Like, it's insane. They literally have to drive these minis up a tiny little ramp. It looks so dangerous.
The last one, like, gets it wrong a couple of times in a way that was clearly so much harder to do than getting it right.
Yeah.
Like, the way that they had to, like, drive to do it wrong is, oh my God.
Yeah. So they unload, because now all the minis are in the back of the bus. They unload the gold from the minis, and then as they're driving up the Alps, they throw the minis, as is Sunna, off the fucking Alp.
It's the only way to get rid of them.
I watched this with my wife, and there's the first mini goes over, and its doors spring open, and it kind of cartwheels down the Alp. And as its doors sprang open, she went, "Oh, its little arms!" And I'm just anthropomorphizing the mini.
They had no way to fake these shots. They just sent these minis off a cliff.
Some minis were harmed.
I wondered about the E-types earlier on. I wondered whether those were real E-types being crushed, or whether they were just cars that were made to look like E-types. I hope they weren't.
No, they could kill a car. A car had no value to them. The red one explodes, which is pleasantly kind of...
Yeah, it has a great, like, every time the mini goes off a cliff, you cut to a front shot of the guy driving, and he's reflected in the mirror, grinning like a... and when the last one explodes, I wanted to cut back to him going like, oh!
Yeah. it does hit the live Big William reaction thing.
Yeah, it does.
Just in one corner of the thing.
Hey, Big William, he's in this movie. Not a ton of lines,
but he's here.
But they're not mean to him, so that'll do.
And we get a kind of, like, the Englishman celebrates thing in the back of this bus as they are pouring beer all over the stolen gold, which is sliding from side to side as Big William drives.
Yeah. Back and forth in the Alps. He's doing those big switchbacks.
Our country is a terrible place. But it's kind of fun. Compels. It's the same thing as the guy with the road flare up his ass. You know, it's like sometimes... Sometimes... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That would have been a great distraction in the center of Turin.
We don't know where those smoke bombs were coming from.
That's fucking illegal now. You can't pop smoke at a protest now. You can't put a road flare up your ass anymore because of anti-woke.
They criminalized putting a road flare up your ass? First Palestine action and now this?
I think they've criminalized popping smoke at protests. I think so. I think that's in the crime and police sentencing bill.
Well, then that's the workaround. You've got to stick the road flare in your ass and say it's not a protest. I'm here for the Euros.
It's a celebration. Yeah.
This is pro whatever's happening.
An unjust law is no law at all. You know, if you care about civil liberties in this country,
stick a road flare up your ass.
Stick a road flare up your ass. Yeah.
Keir Starmer's going to make everyone take the road flare up the ass.
It'll be the law. Yeah.
It's going to make you take it out of your ass.
Yeah.
I refuse.
I forget that the crash is kind of Big William's fault. Right, because he's driving too fast because he's exhilarated. And he's
a little in the
They're also still getting away. You know, I'd understand if he was driving a bit fast.
Yeah, but he like slides the bus over the Alp, and it's hanging off the edge of the Alp.
Well, the bus wants to go home. It's experiencing suicidal ideation. It's like the Alp is right there, my resting place.
The call of the void. You know, it's not just for drivers. There's no guardrails or anything. But yeah, so I think as well, just to tie it together about the declinism, right? Is that like this is so British that like even in our fantasies we don't win. Like. And it's interesting because this is a kind of sublimated like cope about the football to be like 69, you know, we won one World Cup a few years ago. We can, like the last one even, we've still got it. We're not going to just like fuck it up forever from now on. The actual football match this is like meant to be 0-0 draw, right?
Really?
Unexciting. Yeah, but we changed that to that to a win. But we also did like, okay, real life we acknowledge we're not doing so well in the football, but crimes. We're so good at crimes.
Or in general. I mean, like this is 3 years after the Suez crisis. Like Britain is fucking over here. Like, and there's a degree to which the sort of celebration of Britain ending with them sort of like literally on a cliffhanger is
teetering on the edge.
There's something to that.
So the gold is weighing them down is the point, and they all kind of crowd towards one end of the bus as it's tilting, and then Charlie tries to crawl to it, but it just slides further and further away.
It's got a big Union Jack someone's left sticking out of it as well, just to really like hammer the point home. And they can't quite reach without like tipping them all over, and every time he tries, the gold kind of slides further away from him.
And that is how the movie ends.
Well, the movie ends with the line, "All right, lads, I've just had a brilliant idea," which is Dogtooth again. It's like, do you believe in the movies or not? Right?
Well, it's not actually, because there's also in that line, he says, "I've just had a great idea."
Yeah,
that's the line.
He's lying flat on the ground at this point, trying to like reach it with his very fingertips.
It's funny, right? It's not Dogtooth in the exact same sense, because it's a British inflected version where it's like, we are making this shit up as we go along because we're stupid, but somehow always works out for us.
I've just had a great idea. First of all, I need 8 of you to dress up as sexy ladies.
That's the thing. Fucking Chekhov's chaser. Because if they hadn't left Professor Peach in prison, they would have had more weight towards the front end of the bus, and they wouldn't have been in this fucking problem.
They're calling him, they're like, bring the fat ladies.
Break out of Italian prison.
In this situation, what you have to do is you have to move everyone close towards the front end of the bus as possible, nominate the lightest crew member to get out, grab rocks from the roadside, and load them up in the front end.
Smart.
There you go. Solved it.
See?
And is that why you have all that gold, Abby?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a fair reward for ingenuity.
Thank you.
Yeah, totally.
But that's the Italian job.
That's the Italian job.
That is the Italian job.
How do we feel about the Italian job, the movie?
I loved it.
Like, closing thoughts on... Oh, okay.
Yeah, just straightforwardly loved it.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
Makes you proud to be British.
It's fun.
Sort of,
I like that there's gay people in it. I might have liked if there'd been like more than one woman who wasn't just like stuck on a plane 2/3 of the way through, but like, okay.
Well, there was only one woman then.
It's true,
Yeah.
She was American.
Yeah. They could have, like, any of the like heist members could have been a woman, and it wouldn't have affected anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But
on the other hand, one of them was gay, and it didn't affect anything. Like, he wasn't. Camp Freddy was there the whole time, and he wasn't doing like, you know, gay noises. He was participating. He was bonking dudes with the 2x4.
He was.
I really do think that was like part of the masturbation in this movie, is being like, look at how nice we're treating the gay guy. Like, I do, because like, this is a last ditch effort to be like, Britain's kind of got something to say for itself, right? Like, we might not be like good on the international stage, you know, we might not be powerful or interesting or fun anymore, but like, fuck, we can do a crime, you know? At least we're better than the fucking Italians. And one of the main reasons for that is we've accepted homosexuals. I mean, they're running the heist start to finish, right?
Yeah, very true.
On the other hand, take it functionally that like it is a like gay inclusive heist movie. Like that's a good thing to exist. I'm happy it does, even if it does for cynical reasons.
I think that's more than can be said for the remake.
That is true.
Oh, certainly.
We'll get to the remake.
Yeah. I got a drop for you when we finish off about the remake.
I would be interested to see a modern remake of the Italian Job, like a post-Brexit remake of it. Not the American remake, which obviously doesn't have much to say about Britain, but like, I think this would be a fun movie to remake now, like with a more diverse cast and like critically engaging with the history of Britain a little bit more. I think that would be interesting.
The Bosch remake, finally.
Part of the reason why it doesn't is because Britain doesn't have the same film industry that it had in 1969. And like, that's part of where the film's politics comes from is, and part of where its conservatism comes from is, if you read Charlie Croker being like, oh, maybe the Americans will fund it, he's talking about movies too, right? Because we stopped making movies of this kind in this country for a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
And now we do have an enormous film industry in this country, but a lot of it is just like funded and run by Americans. That if you are,
exactly.
I mean, I could tell you stories of like even movies that are ostensibly cast in the UK. What that actually means is the casting director here is emailing someone in an office in Los Angeles who's the person actually making the decisions.
Yeah, or just kind of like, well, we have Pinewood Studios, you know?
I think I've said this before in the podcast, but some people in the American film industry have a derogatory name for British people and like British workers. They call us white Mexicans.
Jeez.
Because we work for so
we are nowhere near cool enough to earn that title.
No, why not?
But we don't have to judge the Italian Job subjectively. we can judge the Italian job scientifically using our science-based system invented in Britain. It's called the Scum system. It stands for SMARM, cultural insensitivity, unprovoked violence, and misogyny. On a scale of 0 to 7, how smarmy is the Italian job? It's going to be a high number.
It's going to be very high. It's high. I don't think it's punitive, though. Well, maybe actually...
It is high, but it's good.
I believe that
you're right. Actually, it could be slightly punitive because it's
worry
unearned.
It's been kind of wronged by its legacy in that it's a very kind of like quotable by your dad movie.
Yeah, this is in the same conversation as The Great Escape. You know, like this is one of those like Britain movies.
Yeah.
I don't know if it necessarily should be in the same conversation. I don't know.
God, The Great Escape, what a movie.
This film, I think, in large part inspired Top Gear. And like the damage that Top Gear has done to this country, not like deliberately, but the damage that it has ended up doing to like a generation of boomer men in this country is, I think, like a big part of the reactionary movement we're currently in. So,
yeah, you're not wrong.
In that regard, I'm inclined to judge it harshly.
What do we think about a number then? Like maybe like a
8?
Like a fuck. Okay.
I mean, it's
very smarmy, and we're punishing it, so it's in the punitive zone.
Fine, 8 out of 7. Cultural insensitivity. Crimes is like football. Football is the finest arena for deciding what country is good or not.
And Italians are shit.
Italians are shit. Yeah. British means English, and English is like cool in like a kind of, you know, kind of bluffing way. Englishness.
As always, we need to decide whether or not Italians are white for the purposes of this movie. I don't believe that this movie thinks they are.
They are not in this movie, no. Englishness is inclusive racist. Of gay posh boys, cockneys, one black guy, and one woman.
Exactly.
Which is not the most...
What can you want?
Yeah, more than that, I think. Like, I think on that basis... It's got to be like a 4 or a 5, right? Well, it's not like explicit in the sense that like it does the kind of footballish thing of being like, well, we respect the Italians even as we deride them for being shit, sort of. I want to say 4. I guess.
Like national chauvinism.
Yeah.
Unprovoked violence. They do bonk those guys with planks.
The bonking is not a major part of the movie, though. Crucially. And its relationship with violence is like pretty trivial in the sense of like, you know, Charlie being given a going over or whatever. It's like it's not really a big deal. It's like played down.
The only person who gets killed is Mr. Lamborghini at the start, I think.
Yeah, I think that might be true. Yeah.
Sadiq Khan with the only confirmed kill of the movie.
Yeah. And that's like a bad thing too, to establish that the mafia will fuck you up.
I think that the armed robbery probably has to give it like a couple. Like, especially to frame it as like, well, it's like sport.
Armed with planks? Can you? Well, that's armed.
Well, they do. There was like a bunch of IEDs that they set off around the square. Like, I don't want to let them completely off. The big guy in the fucking like England flag, like rosette and scarf is chucking IEDs into the bin.
3?
Let's do 3. Yeah, let's do 3.
Yeah, 3.
And then misogyny is going to have to be high because the other act of unprovoked violence is Professor Peach noncing a fat Italian woman.
Yes.
Which he does get punished for.
Yes.
You do have to say that. But
it is like sexual assault, comic played relief. For comedy.
Like, yeah.
Also, in terms of like women in the film, there's Lorna, but then she just fucks off, and then the rest of the women are all just like set dressing in their underwear, and it's like, okay.
Oh yeah. No, there's no female characters really.
5, 6.
I'd go 6 for this comfortably.
Yeah, sure. That gives. Oh dear. Oh dear. That is pretty high. That gives it a total score of 21, which is pretty high. I mean, especially considering how much I enjoyed the movie. But that is pretty high, I'm afraid.
It's not about enjoyment. It's a ruthless critique of all that exists. And, you know, we've worked out scientifically.
Well, I mean, we're into the Connery.
I think on the times I've been on this podcast, it's never correlated with how much we've enjoyed the movie.
That's
never,
true,
not once.
No, I don't think it has ever
Not
either.
the point of it.
Which goes to show that racism and misogyny make a movie good.
Yes.
That's the only conclusion we can draw.
Shit.
It's like a Connery Bond, which I guess tracks for the time period.
If you're listening.
Yeah, Denny.
Yeah.
Put it in. Denny, bring us on board. We know more about what makes a good Bond movie than anyone else in the world.
Bondology.
That's true. First in Bondology.
Resurrect Roger Moore. Send him in.
Number 1. oldest man you can imagine as Bond.
It's interesting you
Number
mentioned
2.
Roger Moore, right? Because that's kind of how I feel about the Italian Job. But just by way of closing is I feel a similar kind of British affection for like where I just go, oh, you daft bastard. Like us as a country, I do like England. I do like the United Kingdom, although the rest of it that isn't England doesn't get a look in this movie. But I like it on the basis that it's ridiculous. And this is a movie that kind of acknowledges that. And I appreciate that.
I'm fascinated by the prospect of like doing a modern remake of this. And I'm going to look up like who has the rights to this. I wonder if
someone.
I wonder if the rights are even still... Well, it was made over 50 years ago. I wonder if you could do that.
Danny Dyer, Jason Statham, Big John.
Me. First of all, first and foremost, me. Jobs for the girls, okay?
Yeah. Well, I actually do happen to have... I watched the advert for the remake of the Italian Job that we're going to be doing next week.
Christ.
And at the end of it, they list off a bunch of names, and I just want to give you this list of names, because what an eclectic mix of fellas. Here we go.
Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron, Edward Norton, Seth Green, Jason Statham, Mos Def, and Donald Sutherland.
Jason Statham is in this as Frank Transporter? Hell yeah.
What a mix of guys, huh?
That's like an Epstein flight logs release. It's that eclectic.
I feel like I've just absorbed several blows to the head.
Seth Green.
I cannot
Mos
wait.
Def.
Milo, we're going to get you back on
Kevin Smith.
Because there is
Kevin
no escape
Sorbo.
from the Italian Job Zone. But thank you so much for joining us. If the people want more Milo,
It's been a pleasure.
Trash Future, Masters of Our Domain, Britanology, where else can they find you?
Glue Factory, also.
Glue Factory, yeah.
Too many podcasts. That's where I'm at. I'm online. I'm on Instagram. I'm on X.com, the everything app. I'm on TikTok. If you're 12, yeah.
I like your TikToks.
I'm Milo Edwards or some variation of that everywhere. Check me out. Come see me live.
Fantastic.
Live shows are happening increasingly around the world.
I've seen Milo's live shows and they're very good. I saw your live show at Pleasance. It was good.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Another taping happening soon.
MiloEdwards.com. This will all be in the description.
.co.uk. I didn't get on that .com. MiloEdwards.com is owned by the Black Milo Edwards, who's an American life coach and who is so much happier than I will ever be.
So subscribe to the Patreon, listen to all of Milo's podcasts, and we will see you on the next bonus episode, which I think is going to be, is that Sam?
Oh, God.
It is, yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, listeners. Look, we have a fucking treat for you on the fucking bonus. Let me give you the fucking preview right now. Mel Brooks' son, in quotes, wrote a movie in which a misogynist Andrew Tate figure is magically transformed into a woman. And it is the most repressor egg shit we've ever seen. That, like, to the point where it appears to have been directly made using tropes from, like, forced fanfics. And we got Katie Tight Pussy on to help us talk about it.
If you are on the fence about the Patreon,
now's a good time. Now's a fucking good time because we are watching. I tell you one thing, that movie ain't about fucking 9/11.
And then the next mainline episode is going to be the Italian Job remake.
Hell yeah.
We will see you for that. Bye, everyone.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to yet another episode of Kill James Bond, and thanks again to our special guest Milo Edwards. If you want more Milo, go ahead and wait 2 weeks because he'll be on the next free episode, which is The Italian Job, as stated in the body of the episode. And the next bonus episode, Sam with Katie Type Pussy, was also mentioned in the body of the episode, so I don't need to do a ton of forward sizzle. Hey, and if you are a patron of a show, thank you. And special thanks to our £15 and above patrons, and those are Lo Bjornsdotter, Candy Fox, Freya Aloysius, Gustavo Lira, Elspeth Hunt, Jordan Gammy, Nick Boris, Mike Berg, Hannah Overhart, Devon's Advocate, George Rohack, Canada Will Remember Devon's Promise, Drone Lover, Yarrick, Live Free or Cry, Melody, Morrow Gonzalez, Labor Delenda Est, Library Hitman, Tub O, Trip, Jack Drummond. How about I just call you Snowdonia from here on out, huh? Max Maynard, Rhododendron, Athena V, Danielle Williams, Molly Powerslide, Ashley, Elite Erin, K Maybe Okay, Staz, Science Daddy, Vita Brava, Anne Hedonia, Mae Victoria Roth, Imagine Sisyphus depicted as a Chad Wojak. Okay. Claire, Tim Welsh, Liz Rossi, Forrest L. Novell, Arizona Frog Strangler. I know there are curious gaps in my knowledge, and so I have room for hope. Parasocial Butterfly, Penile-Sparing Vaginoplasty, Pierre Menard wrote a book called Don Quixote, some sort of silly Canadian creature, The Vixen Job, Getting 1890s Woman Dysphoria at the Art Institute, Saturday's Claire, I Think You Should Listen to Remember Me by Leslie Parrish, Lady Houndstooth, Robert De Niro in Heat, and I'm not apologizing, Chris Roth, Gil the Gilded Dragon, Claire Baker, A Trans Robot, Keikoden, Sisyphus Hypno, nice, Joyous Uwu, Gender Swap Podcast, Tori's Just Another Pathetic Lesbian, brackets complimentary, Annie Ruby, aka Big J Wetsky, alright man, Anya Top, Meat Popsicle, Finn Ross, Cayenne Belladonna, Defiant Gender Disaster, Devon Needs to Stop Being So Sexy, No, Cosmic Parking Lot, Anya Shenanigans, Lady Ariane, Rope Trick Clarification, Clairvoyance, Julia Coke, Obsidian Polymer, Alex, Casquatch, Noblesse Oblahai, Seng Shen, Liz and Ash of University of Florida, Wolscott, John 2089, Isopod Gal, Delta Echo Victor, The Duck Whisperer, Wolfie is Normal, Philippa Smith, Al Irwing, Carriad, Josh Simmons, Abigail, Loz Pycock, Pandora, HJ Magpie, Mistress Angela Ailis, Turfseat Shit and Die Alone, Lauren Baston, Misidentified Lemon Blew the Bloody Doors Off, nice, Talkative Tiger, Emily Queen of Sloths, The Modern Trans Girl in Ebert, Zoe Shepherd, Cassandra, and Robert Greensmith. Thank you all for being patrons of our show. I'm going through this really quickly because I have to close all the doors and the windows and turn the fan off in order to record this. And it's hot. It's hot today. Kill James Bond is, as always, Abigail, Devon, November. Our producer is the wonderful Mr. Nate Bethay. Our podcast art is by John DeLuca. Our website is by Tom Allen. And I will see you on the bonus feed. Sign up for this one. Go ahead and sign up for this one.